Ever wonder what the hottest segment in retail real estate is right now? Well, according to a report by Kailash Babar from ET Bureau, the food and beverage industry is currently leading the charge. Welcome to the Commercial Real Estate Insights Podcast. I'm your host, Steve Hamoen. Let's get right to it. In India, the food and beverage sector is proving to be a major catalyst for retail real estate, significantly boosting leasing activities across major cities. This segment has increased its share of overall retail activity to 22% in 2025, up from 16% in 2023. Developers are responding by allocating more space to dining and entertainment, particularly in cities like Bengaluru, Mumbai, and Delhi NCR, which are leading this expansion. In fact, over the past 10 quarters, the food and beverage industry has seen 4 million square feet of leasing across the top 7 cities in India, including Chennai, Hyderabad, Kolkata, and Pune. This is part of a broader trend where India's retail sector has added 18.6 million square feet of new shopping mall space in the last 5 years, bringing the total operational Grade A stock to 88.7 million square feet. Rahul Arora, Head of Office Leasing and Retail Services at JLL India, highlights that India's retail sector has shown remarkable resilience, with over 22 million square feet of leasing activity despite global challenges. This growth is a tale of multiple cities, each finding its unique niche, and reinforces that India's retail expansion is not just robust, but strategically distributed across key metropolitan areas. The food and beverage sector is fundamentally reshaping India's retail real estate landscape. Developers are planning to dedicate up to 25% of space in upcoming destination malls to food and beverage, responding to the segment's robust demand dynamics. By 2028, an additional 6 million square feet of new food and beverage space is expected in the top 7 cities, likely to be absorbed within 3 to 5 years as operators seek quality locations. This trend is not unique to India. In North America, food and beverage outlets are increasingly becoming anchors in retail spaces, attracting foot traffic and enhancing the shopping experience. Just as in India, developers in the United States and Canada are reconfiguring spaces to accommodate more dining and entertainment options, reflecting evolving consumer preferences. The food and beverage sector's growth is primarily driven by domestic brands, which account for 86% of leasing, while international players make up the remaining 14%. Since 2023, over 20 new global food and beverage brands, led by operators from the United States, have entered India, with Delhi, NCR, and Mumbai as preferred entry points for these international players. Overall retail absorption in India stood at 22 million square feet between 2023 and the first half of 2025, with malls contributing 52%. For the food and beverage sector specifically, high streets account for 54% of leasing, malls 38%, and multi-cuisine formats 41%, reflecting the evolving dining preferences. Supporting this growth are rising amenity retail and business parks, and $2.5 billion in institutional inflows across 22 deals since 2018. The food and beverage industry is set to remain a cornerstone of India's retail real estate for the coming decade. Signed into law on June 30, 2025, House Bill 7031 eliminates the sales tax on commercial leases in Florida. Effective October 1, 2025, Florida will no longer be the only state in the country that imposes such a tax on commercial leases, a change expected to save commercial tenants billions of dollars annually. While the repeal is a welcome change for businesses, landlords and tenants should prepare to ensure a smooth and efficient transition. Florida enacted Chapter 212.031, Florida Statutes, in 1969, imposing a 4% sales tax on rent charged under a commercial real estate lease. The rate fluctuated over the years, at times reaching 6%. Since 2016, the Florida legislature has focused on lowering the tax rate, reducing it to as low as 2% in July 2024. House Bill 7031 completes this process, permanently eliminating the tax on commercial leases. House Bill 7031 repeals both the state-level tax, currently at 2%, and optional local surtaxes, typically 1 to 1.5%, saving commercial tenants across Florida an estimated $2.5 billion annually. The repeal applies to office, retail, and industrial leases. Supporters expect the change to lower tenant costs, simplify compliance for landlords, and strengthen Florida's business climate. Importantly, the bill only affects rent due after October 1st, 2025. Rent due on or before September 30th, 2025 remains taxable, even if the payment is made after the October 1st deadline. However, prepaid rent for amounts due on or after October 1st, 2025 will fall under the scope of the bill, and the sales tax should not be incorporated into the payment. The repeal applies only to commercial leases governed by Chapter 212.031. Other property-related rentals remain subject to sales tax under Chapter 212.03, including short-term residential rentals, parking space rentals, self-storage rentals, boat slips and docking facilities, and aircraft hangar leases. Landlords should confirm their lease does not fall under one of these categories before eliminating sales tax charges. Landlords and tenants should review current leases to determine the portion of rent subject to sales tax and ensure no tax is charged or paid after October 1st, 2025. Lease templates and existing agreements should be updated to remove references to the commercial lease tax unless relating to one of those leases that remain subject to tax. Landlords may want to issue notices to tenants to prevent confusion during the transition. Landlords and tenants should also monitor their annual reconciliations for 2025 additional rent to confirm that sales tax is not applied to periods on or after October 1st, 2025. Landlords should also confirm which parts of their portfolio, if any, remain subject to tax. The repeal of the tax provides commercial tenants with significant annual savings on their leases. Landlords and tenants should take action now to maximize benefits and ensure a smooth transition. According to a report by the Mortgage Bankers Association, delinquencies on United States commercial mortgages increased in the second quarter of 2025, with commercial mortgage-backed securities experiencing the sharpest rise. Reggie Booker, Mortgage Bankers Association's Associate Vice President of Commercial Real Estate Research, noted that the delinquency rate for commercial mortgages rose across most major capital sources during this period. The report highlights that commercial mortgage-backed securities loans saw the largest increase, reflecting rising delinquencies in both multifamily and office properties. This trend continues to vary by property type, loan structure, geography, and borrower profile. The Mortgage Bankers Association's quarterly report tracks commercial mortgage performance across the 5 largest capital sources, which include commercial banks and thrifts, commercial mortgage-backed securities, life insurance companies, and Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. These sources collectively account for more than 80% of United States commercial mortgage debt. The analysis notes that delinquency measurements differ across lenders, limiting direct comparisons. For instance, Fannie Mae counts loans in forbearance as delinquent, whereas Freddie Mac excludes them if borrowers remain compliant with the terms. At the end of the second quarter of 2025, the unpaid principal balance delinquency rates were reported as follows. Banks and thrifts had a delinquency rate of 1.29%, up by 0.01 percentage points from the first quarter. Life insurance companies reported a delinquency rate of 0.51%, up by 0.04 points. Fannie Mae's delinquency rate was 0.61%, down by 0.02 points. Freddie Mac's rate was 0.47%, up by 0.01 points. Commercial mortgage-backed securities had a delinquency rate of 6.36%, up by 0.45 points. The widening gap between commercial mortgage-backed securities delinquencies and those of other lenders highlights ongoing stress in certain segments of the commercial real estate market, particularly in the office and multifamily sectors. These sectors have faced challenges from changing work patterns and elevated borrowing costs, contributing to the increase in delinquencies. The redevelopment of a former 12-story department store storage building in downtown Cincinnati is taking its next step. As reported by Chris Wederick of the Cincinnati Business Courier, this $50 million project aims to transform the historic structure into a multifamily residential property. Located at 310 Race Street, the building's conversion is spearheaded by two developers who envision it as a key component in revitalizing the downtown area. The project is part of a broader trend in urban centers across North America, where former commercial and industrial spaces are being repurposed for residential use. This aligns with the demand for urban living options and the need to repurpose underutilized properties. The Cincinnati development is expected to provide new housing opportunities while preserving the architectural heritage of the building. In Kitchener-Waterloo, Ontario, similar initiatives are underway, with developers converting old industrial sites into residential and mixed-use spaces. These projects are helping to meet the growing demand for housing in the region while revitalizing areas that were once dominated by manufacturing. The cross-border relevance of such transformations is evident as cities across Canada and the United States seek sustainable ways to adapt existing infrastructure to modern needs. The Cincinnati project is expected to enhance the downtown area's appeal, with the developers aiming to create a vibrant community space that attracts both residents and visitors. This aligns with broader urban development goals to increase foot traffic and economic activity in city centers, reflecting a shift in how urban spaces are being utilized. As the project advances, it will join a growing list of downtown conversion projects aiming to bring new life to unused or underutilized buildings. Such initiatives not only address housing shortages, but also contribute to the economic and cultural vitality of urban areas, making them more attractive places to live and work. In Onondaga County, New York, recent property transactions have highlighted the dynamic nature of commercial real estate. Among the noteworthy sales is the property located at 100 Intrepid Lane in Syracuse. Initially sold by Brighton Commons Limited Liability Company to UPM Limited Liability Company for $900,000, it was subsequently purchased by Purple Quail Properties Limited Liability Company for $1,197,900. This commercial office building exemplifies the active transaction environment in the area. The list of property sales from August 31st to September 6th includes a variety of transactions, ranging from modest land sales to significant commercial investments. A transaction in Otisco saw a waterfront access property at 1633 C. Otisco Valley Road sold by the Onondaga County Water Authority to the Needham Family Trust and Lisa A. Brown for $3,481. Another notable sale was a two-family residence at 552 Seymour Street in Syracuse, sold by Samuel Sestache to Antonio Ladon and Joseph Campbell for $40,000. Residential vacant land continues to be in demand, with several transactions in Clay, New York. Maple Road Associates Incorporated sold land at 4721 Cooper Trade Place for $70,000 to Cornerstone Homes of Central New York Limited Liability Company. Similarly, land at 4866 Lipinski Farm Place was purchased by Michael Marchese for $73,000. These sales indicate a growing interest in developing new residential opportunities in the area. One of the most significant transactions recorded was the sale of neighborhood shopping centers and a commercial one-use small building. Shop City, PWLB Limited Liability Company sold properties at 101 Shop City Plaza, 120 Lee Lane, 130 Swansea Drive, and 340-50 and 416 Grant Boulevard to Sky Shop City Owner Limited Liability Company for $16 million. This sale underscores the value and potential of retail spaces in the community. These transactions provide a snapshot of the vibrant real estate market in Onondaga County, reflecting a blend of residential, commercial, and mixed-use developments. Such activities are indicative of broader trends in real estate, where strategic investments and property developments are reshaping communities. Thank you for listening to the Commercial Real Estate Insights podcast. I'm your host, Steve Hamoen. See you on the next one.